Okay, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. I have finally made it to the East Coast, unpacked, and got my system up and running. It was maybe the worst trip that I've ever had across country, and I've done this probably a good 25 times or more in my lifetime. It was so bad that by the time we hit Texas, there were semis strewn all over the road. There was no de-icing going on, no snow plows, and we got stuck in Amarillo, Texas for 2 days waiting for the roads to thaw. Then when we got back on the road, that very same storm or another one right behind us followed us all the way to Virginia, then up through the Smoky Mountains all the way to the New York state line. Terrible weather the entire way. It's a bit telling. In 2001, my wife and I came from the East Coast back to California, and we hit what was called the ice storm of the century. And even though only one lane of I-40 was open at that time, they had de-icing and all the plows were mobilized. This time when we hit the western Texas state border, semis were just struggling to stay on the road. We saw them jackknife right in front of us. As a matter of fact, I had to Baja my U-Haul around one of them to stay on the 40 as it wiped out and covered both lanes. And there was absolutely two plows is what we saw on the opposite side of I-40 going westbound, and no de-icing anywhere. And to me, this speaks to kind of a sign of the times, because in 2001, we made it to the Texas state border just to find services and radio back on the air. It was so bad. This time, Texas was not even de-icing. So there you have it. At any rate, we're going to take a quick look at the last chemtrail video I shot in San Diego before I left, and then we're going to take a look at the occultation of Venus and what happened. As I left San Diego, the week running up to it, the chemtrailing was just nonstop all over the place. And when you see chemtrailing like this, you can see the blurry lines in some and some defined like this. I've always maintained that I believe it's two different things that they're spraying and mixing together. But as I pan back over, you'll notice that the smear below the chemtrail is kind of falling down, and you got to wonder what it is that we're all breathing. It's incredible what these guys are still getting away with, and I recently saw a video where NASA not only used the word chemtrail, but they admitted to spraying lithium into the ionosphere, which is a psychotropic drug. Unreal what they are admitting to and what they are doing. And here you can see that kind of smeary line where the chemtrails fall away, and here is a more defined, persistent chemtrail that will last hours. Anyhow, I made it to the great state of Rhode Island, and I had planned and tracked Venus headed towards the moon for 5 days in clear skies. It was a beautiful shot. It was placed perfectly. We had crystal clear days. Then the morning of the actual occulting of Venus, everything got chemmed out. And when I say everything got chemmed out, I counted somewhere between 25 and 50 planes. I quit counting at about 30, but I'll show you a clip here in a minute where there's, I don't know, 10, 12 chemtrails right across the ecliptic over the sun and moon, blocking the whole thing. Luckily, our friend Richard 205 Maria in New Jersey, I believe, did get some footage, and although it's not close footage, it is footage. I have not yet seen any good HD close-up footage, but it does not look like we're going to see any transparency in the moon, which is what I want to address here. As I often say, words have meaning, and the moon you're looking at here that occulted Venus is an old moon. In other words, it's ending a cycle. Every report we have of a transparent lunar disk has happened at new, when the moon is new in the beginning of a cycle. We're going to have more opportunities coming up, but just because we didn't get anything this time, it is no reason to quit. We had two things against us. This was an old moon, and it occurred in the daytime. Actually, three things, because apparently the chemplanes did not want us filming this for some reason. And again, I have not seen good close-up HD footage of the event yet. Having said this, the next time we get a shot at a very young or new sliver moon, and it is dark outside, those will be the best conditions if we can get a bright object to be occulted by the moon. Doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. So anyhow, let's run some of the video from Rhode Island of the morning of the occulting of Venus. This is what I woke up to. I woke up at about 4:30, went up, poured a cup of coffee, took my dog outside to go to the bathroom, and this is what I saw. A completely blotched out sky with trail after trail. So what I did was I sat there and drank my coffee, and I started to count planes. Somewhere between 25 and 30 planes. It's kind of tough to see because they were spraying behind and over the kind of smudged sky you see. I quit counting, but I'll show you some more footage that is very telling. Here you see the lines that they were laying at low level, mid level, and high level, probably around 60,000 feet according to flight radar. And they did it over the ecliptic. As you'll see, I'm coming up on the sun here. The sun is completely blotted out from the sky here, and there's a trail that was turned off where they quit spraying in the upper right corner there. So they're covering the ecliptic with line after line after line, basically a fleet of chemplanes. Now here is one that was unusual from the rest. It's what I call a negative spray. They spray these lines and they remain dark, and as they go through the existing debris, they mix, and you can see that. I've done it with the telephoto, although this is kind of a zoomed out shot. But here is the only negative line of the day, and there's the plane, hard right, I don't know, yeah, there he is, spraying the trail. We're going to take another look here, and then I'm going to show you the just mind-boggling number of trails. There's a plane probably around 40,000 feet, maybe a little less, spraying. Kind of bright here by the sun, but there's one line that's dispersed. There's one you can see. There's another one dispersed. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. There's another two. And then I can't even swing the camera up high enough. There it is. I can get the last one. I mean, they are just streaking straight over the ecliptic where the occultation of Venus happened. They really didn't want us looking, apparently. It's been clear, crystal clear for 5 mornings. I've tracked Venus and the moon. Okay, I switched to the original audio that matched the clip there just to let you hear what I was saying while I was filming that just atrocity that covered the occultation of Venus. So, in closing, I am preparing and putting the final touches on my website that will host Crow 777 Radio, my podcast. I was going to launch in December, but I'm hoping that I can get a lot of people to come over and subscribe with me so that we can talk about anything we want free of YouTube censorship. And I will be running my own video, serving my own video over there, and that will open a whole new door. So I'm hoping many of you will come along with me. I will still run videos on YouTube, but the main push and the real picking apart of things that matter is going to occur on the website. So there it is, and here I am in the freezing east. I'm sad to say goodbye to Rhode Island, but there it is. Cheers.